With the play of Leon Draisaitl, the pace he's on point-wise, usually guys, sacrifice a little bit defensively when it comes to that, but the way he's able to maintain the defensive side of things, how impressive is that to you? And does it remind you of anyone, or is he kind of doing it his own way?
Well, he's solid all over the ice. He makes plays. We've talked about he can be two players in one. He's an unbelievable shooter when he gets a chance, but he's unbelievable passer also, forehand and backhand. So he's an all-around top player, and he's right now he's playing in all situations for us, some key defensive situations. He's obviously key on the power play, and his line has been going pretty good. So he's played very well lately.
Sorry, Dave, over here. Do you have a strategy yet for what you want to do with Skinner in terms of, are you going to just ride this horse and see where it takes you? Is it possible he plays 9 of the next 10, or?
No, we'll just see how it goes game by game. But we got a back-to-back here. We'll probably split them the next 2 days, so we'll see where it goes.
But if he keeps playing well, then he's going to be the guy you go to?
Well, we need them both to play well. We got a lot of hockey coming up here, so both of them will have to play well. Skinner, he's still a young guy. He's going to have some, we'll put him in some situations where it's challenge him and see how he does.
The players you're getting called up from Bakersfield have stepped in and done pretty well. It seems like the pipeline is going pretty nicely. Ryan was saying that part of that is because the players here are a little more mature, a little better. It's an easier team to jump into, but have you noticed a difference in the players that are coming up?
Well, I think, Ken's philosophy is they got to be ready to jump up. You just can't plug them in because where they're drafted or, so there's a method to the madness. They come up and they're not going to come up here and sit around and not play. They're going to come up and play if they're capable. If they're not, they got to go down and learn some more. So when they come, we've given some guys opportunities. Some guys have jumped in and ran with it right away. Sometimes you got to go back down a little bit. So it's just the evolution of how a player adapts to the league. And sometimes, I know nobody likes to go down to the minors, but sometimes that's a big help. Like you look at McLeod right now, kind of didn't have the best of camp, was expecting more at camp, went down a little bit and come back, and now his game's really picking up. So there's some value to just, whether it's confidence, get thinking right or whatever, and come back and jump back in and know you can play here. Broberg came in the other night, and he's played key minutes down there, really adapted to the North American style, and come in and was solid the other night. So we'll see how it goes. But you got to have that depth coming up. I mean, especially I think we got 6 or 7 guys on the injured list right now, so that depth is coming through handy right now.
Dave, your penalty kill is now only -3 goals for and against after the 2 shorthanded goals. Would you guys, I know you don't want to take a lot of penalties, but is there the sense that the penalty killers are okay, no problem, this is actually a chance to assert ourselves and get momentum in the game by killing?
No, I'd still like to take less penalties.
The guys going on the ice.
Way easier to kill one when you're not on the kill.
All right.
Yeah. No, but we have capable people. They're doing a good job out there for us, and we, let's. Again, we go back to our goals against. We want to get our goals against down, and our penalty kill's done a nice job of that, and they got to continue to do well.
Yeah. When you have a kid like Skinner that comes up and he's a local guy, there's always a chance. His cell phone's probably going off. Every old friend's now a new friend, and is it more difficult to be the local kid making good here than it is for a guy like Broberg coming out of Sweden?
You probably asked the local kid that, or you probably did already.
But you came in a little bit early, and I had the mic in my hand, actually.
Yeah. So I'll answer for him. You know what? I think whether he's a local kid or not, if there's any added extra pressure there, you don't see it from him. I think in his mind, he's put the work in to get him to this level, and he was looking for the opportunity. He's taken the opportunity and run with it. Doesn't matter if he's from Edmonton or Timbuktu. He's put the work in. He feels confident that he can play in this league, and he's going out and playing like it in the game. So if there is any added extra pressure, he's not showing it right now.
Last question for me. As a goalie, I know that you got goaltender coaches that deal with the goalies more, but as a head coach, do you know with the goalie as much as you know with the player? Like when you see him playing well, is it harder to forecast? Is it what's it like for you?
I think everybody, like I watch goalies in the morning skate. I'll watch them in the practice the day before. Hopefully you're watching them right at the right time where they're stopping everything, but it's, I think there's a little bit of, you just get a feel for it, get a feel for where he's at. Obviously you talk a lot to the goaltender coach, but then it's how your team is in front of them too, how your team plays in front of players. I mean, those are all factors that come into whether a guy can be a real solid goaltender for your team. So there has to be a belief in him. There's, you look at a guy like that that's put a lot of work in. He's earned the respect of his teammates. I mean, everything goes into that, and then you got to do it day by day. And we talked about it the other day, why we threw him back in against Chicago. It's an emotional game, good win against Winnipeg, but now you got to be able, if you're going to be an NHL goaltender every day, you got to do it every day. And he stepped back in, played very well. So there's good signs for him. I mean, there's real good signs. And again, I'll go back to, I think the main reason why all this is kind of going the right direction is he's put the work in. He knows he's put the work in, he's ready for it, and now the opportunity's in front of him, he wants to grab it.